Hello, welcome back to Steve's Retirement Corner. Learning to slow down and enjoy retirement. I always think this is amazing. Something we found so easy and it comes so natural to us as a kid. We have to we have to relearn once we get older. That's the way life is, man. It has a tendency to beat you up and you forget, you know, what's really important to you. But I think slowing down and doing nothing gets a bad rap in retirement, and I think it's misunderstood too. You know, I mean, because nowadays, man, there's all kinds of information on how to stay active and finding a purpose and all that junk in retirement. And it's important, man. The human body is just a daggone machine. It's made to move. If it ain't moving, it's rusting. I mean, that's important. But I think slowing down a little bit and doing nothing from time to time is just as beneficial to a person. I just do. It's about balance, So it's important, And you don't want to sit down and stay sitting, but spend your little time kicking back, man. Ain't a darn thing wrong with that. And I think it's beneficial. It's what makes our retirement about as happy and content as it can be. It's what really increases it for us. I mean, you're slowing down. You're not really slowing down, man. You're running at your speed. You no longer have the pressures and the stress and the time crunch, responsibilities from a full-time job. You're not having to work around that schedule. You get to do things when it's convenient for you and when you want to do them and what you want to do. Man, and it takes a while to get there, man. When you first retire, man, you got all that free time, and it can be overwhelming, and you worry about, hey, man, how am I going to fill them hours? And I did the same thing, even though I knew in my heart that it wasn't going to be a problem for me, because it's just my personality. I'm lazy, for one. I'm the busiest lazy man you'll ever meet, probably. But I find so much interesting and curious, and I want to check things out. I'm willing to try. I'm open to doing new things. Not too much. I ain't jumping out of a daggone airplane like a lot of people seem to want to do. Don't make sense for me to jump out of a perfectly good airplane. But a lot of stuff I do don't make sense to anybody else either. But that's what it matters, man. You're doing what you want, not what somebody thinks you should do or any of that other junk. That's the way you make retirement your own. And it's really what brings the joy to retirement for us. So I mean, I think that's why it's a shame when people talk about planning for retirement, they don't include that in their plan, because it's a big part of it. I mean, you got a lot of benefits of it, man. It's good for your health. Sit down for a few minutes and just enjoy the cicadas clicking, or the night frogs or the tree frogs at nighttime when they start croaking up, smelling the honeysuckle. It's good for you. It reduces your stress immediately. You're thinking about everything, but you're not thinking about anything specific. You're letting your mind wander and take it from there. That's what I do. That's why I get in trouble a lot. It builds your creativity, I can tell you that. Every dumb thing I try to do usually comes from one of them moments I'm sitting up there on the deck. But and nobody actually slows down in retirement and sits and just dies away like you always hear, man. Very few people that happens to. For me, I don't know anybody personally that's done that in retirement. Like most people, I'll bet most people have heard of someone that knows of someone that done that. Very few people know anybody that sit down and died. It just, in retirement. It's a hearsay thing for me. Well, my brother's uncle, or my husband, or somebody like that, and you don't know the stories behind it. Was it daggone, were they having health problems to begin with that caused them to sit? That's most of the way it happens out of the retirees I know. They keep being just as active and mobile and go. in retirement until their health goes bad, and they're forced to shut down a little bit and slow down. You know, most of them are just as active or more active than I ever was to begin with. Keith and Terry's one of them. You ought to watch him. My goodness, I hope I'm half as healthy at their age as they are. But you know, and you know, a lot of people have problems with that when they retire. They feel guilty about sitting and doing nothing. You know. But hey, man, in retirement, there's nothing that needs to be done until you're ready to do it. Really, be honest with you. It's sort of like that old saying, what do they call it? If you enjoy what you're doing, you'll never work a day in your life. Well, that's retirement. And that's the way I feel about it. You know, I mean, the benefits, stress, it helps you stress immediately, which in turn, it lowers your blood pressure. You know, it gives you a chance to sit down and recharge and reset. You know, it's like a pit stop in NASCAR. You pull in there, get you a little drink, they check the tires, fill you full of gas, and put you back out on the track so you can go wide open again. You know, it helps. It's beneficial mentally, man. Well, it doesn't talk about the stress level, but it gives you a chance to be in the moment. You know as well as I do that when you're young and you're hustling, you're paying the bills, having a small family, trying to save a little bit, you really ain't got time to take a breath and enjoy the moment. Even when you are, it's not for long. And like your vacations, man, you take a week vacation, man. Hey, and all's great in the first couple of days, but then towards the end of it, man, right away work pops into your head. So it's, you know, you get that moment when you retire. When you decide to call it quits, man, you got that moment, you got that time, and it gives you that sense of freedom. It allows you to be in the moment. It allows you to be sitting in the living room, not have to do a thing, or talk a word, and enjoy just being with your spouse. You know what I mean? So you get that back, and it gives you all that time to rest and relax and just kind of. Now I ain't saying doing it 24/7. Even I don't do that. But you're able to work around yourself the way you feel and what you want to do, and it really brings that contentment of retirement. I think it really does. And that's why I think it gets a bad rap. I think it's misunderstood. You know, everything. You know, like I said, it was it's like doing what you love every day for the rest of your life. And it doesn't feel like work. No matter, I can honestly sit here and say 3 years in retirement, I ain't done snot. I ain't done a lick of nothing. And it's hard to explain. It takes a while to get there. That first year, you're learning everything there is to know about retirement, how it feels, you know, whether your budget works out right, whether you're gonna need a new car, and how you're gonna figure out how to pay for that, and all that other junk. And you're also learning to slow down and enjoy your retirement. Enjoy that peaceful moment that you get. Because you know, ask anybody that's retired and they'll tell you they don't know how they had time to work. And it comes to us all at some point in retirement. And it's a hard thing to learn. You got to take it slow and build on it. I don't know. Hey man, it's a good thing to stay active, have a purpose, and all this other stuff, but that slowing down a little bit and just taking a moment for yourself and doing absolutely nothing. Don't read a book, don't do a hobby or nothing. Just enjoy being alive, just like when you was a kid. Retirement for me is pretty much being a second childhood. You remember when you was a kid and you got up and you didn't have nothing planned all day and you just run the road. Take your bike down and see Jimmy, maybe play a game of basketball, hit the river and snag a few brim, maybe cash a couple pop bottles in at the store and get you an ice cream or something, you know, chasing the lightning bugs. It's whatever hits you at the time. And that's the way I work through retirement. I might be busy 24/7, but 99 times out of 100, it's nothing. But anyways, man, I was sitting here. I don't know how well y'all can see that tree limb. It finally fell after 2 years of me waiting on it. So I'm gonna get on it with a chainsaw here and cut it up. And maybe we'll have some, it'll make for a nice fire this fall. Or maybe we'll be able to roast some chestnuts on an open fire for the Christmas season. I don't know. But I'm gonna get on it before it gets too hot. I waited too late to get out here this morning. Y'all take care of yourself, man. Enjoy your week the best you can, and don't forget we got a live Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. I only do one a month. If you can't catch it, no big deal. If you do, if you're able to make it, hey man, I'd love to have you. We don't do anything with just chit chat over a glass of tea. Just I'm inviting you into my kitchen for some kitchen table talk with a glass of tea. But y'all take care of yourself, man. And we'll talk with y'all later.